make-believers. In today's video, I want to talk about the mortal instruments, aka Shadowhunters. So this review is going to be a short and sweet comparison between the books and the show, and my thoughts on the books and the show. I mean, you already know my thoughts on the books. I love the books. So yes, basically my thoughts on the show in comparison to the books. And I'm going to try and split it up into 3 different parts: the script, the characters, and the plot. But I'll just talk and we'll see how it goes. So I have to start off by saying that I don't particularly enjoy the show for a number of reasons that I will be listing in this video review. If you haven't read the Mortal Instruments books or watched the Shadowhunters series, then don't watch this video because it will be full of spoilers. But here I go right now, so if you haven't seen it or read it, bye-bye. So one thing that really gets me about this series that I don't understand is genuinely, why did they bother making it? Not in like a, oh my gosh, this is awful, why did they make it? But in a, it's not an adaptation of the books at all. It's literally just the same world with the characters with the same name. But the characters are not as they are in the book, and the story is not as it is in the book. So what was the point? Why didn't they just say to Cassandra Clare, hey, I like the world you've created, can I make up a whole other story in your world? I'm sure she would have said yes, and I'm sure then people like me would not be greatly disappointed by the fact that their characters, their beloved characters, are not as they should be. So combining 2 of my first points, I feel like the flaw with the characters really comes from a flaw with the script. I feel like the person who's written the script maybe hasn't even read the books, has just like read a synopsis or something, because it's like they don't know the character, and therefore the actor portraying the character doesn't feel like they know who they are as that character. They really seem like they're acting out a role, like, I'm going to do this today because that's what the line says, but I don't know if that's what I want to do. Now in the books, Jace and Clary have this long, evolved build up to their relationship, and you feel the connection and you see why they like each other. It's not just insta love, like, hey, he's hot, hey, she's hot, let's go for it. Let's have a little foreplay with a seraph blade. No! Jace has a lot more going for himself than his looks. He's not just a pretty face that's like, I'm gonna be a macho man and save this girl, for no apparent reason. He doesn't know this girl. She's Valentine's daughter, and he's just like, hey, I'm gonna swoop in and save you because, you know, in the books you're my girlfriend. No! And also, him and Alec are like the closest things in the world. The Lightwoods took in Jace when he was like 10 years old. They've grown up as brother and sisters, or okay, in Alec's case, he kind of liked Jace, but you know what I mean? Like, they've grown up together for a very long time. They're very, 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 very close. Closer than most because they're parabete. And in this series, like, okay, I've only watched the first season and I haven't finished it. I've got like 2 or 3 episodes to go. But in this series, they fought so much that their parabete bond has almost broken. I'm sorry, no. Alec and Chase never do that. They would never do that. Who are you writing? Who are these people? Another character that gets to me and confuses me is Isabel. She, in the books, is a smart, sexy, evolved character who goes after what she wants and gets it by using her brain as well as her body. And if she wants information from Melioran, she's not just going to sleep with him to get that information. She might sleep with him because she wants to sleep with him. And that's Isabel's business. But she's not just going to be like, oh, I need some information. Let me put on this short, tight little dress and get some information from you. No, she's got a brain, and she's going to talk to him, and she's got a whip, and she's a shadow hunter, and she's a fighter, and she can get her information in so many different ways. And then all of a sudden she calms down a bit, and she is dressing a bit better because her mom tells her off. But again, the character Isabelle Lightwood would not care if her mom tells her off. Like, she would not completely change who she is inside because of her mother. So even though I didn't like the character that they made her inside, at least let her be consistent in that character. And then another character that I'm not that happy about is Luke. So with Luke, there was the initial shock that he's African American, which is of course not a bad thing. But then he's also a cop. Why is Luke a cop and not working in a bookstore? Because I'm sorry, bookstore Luke is really cool, really sweet, really genuine, and I don't know, doesn't it put something in your mind of a guy that's like in a bookstore as more gentle, more loving? I don't know, it's just a misconception, but you know what I mean? So why wouldn't you want that loving, gentle character to then be like, I'm a werewolf, rather than I'm a cop, boop, 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 I'm so macho, and hey, I'm also a werewolf. Like, where is your depth? Where is your just Again, a lot of these flaws with the characters come from a lot of flaws with the script. Now, onto the characters that I do like. I really like Simon, and I really like Magnus. I would say that their characters are probably the closest to how their characters are in the book. There are some really weird, unnecessary changes, like Maureen being with Simon instead of being like a 13-year-old girl that's like in love with him, like a groupie. But all in all, their characters are pretty genuine to who they are. Simon's this lovable character who is really soft and nerdy and geeky, and you love him that way, and then he gets turned into a vampire and he's awesome. And yeah, he's pretty much consistent. Magnus as well is just this kooky guy that like is a warlock and just does his own thing. I also like the actors playing them. Again though, leading to the script, I feel like perhaps the reason I like them is because they were given not just their authentic character, but they seem to have been given the best lines. Like, I don't know, I find a lot of the script, okay, so let's move on to the script. So I find a lot of the script to be unnecessarily cheesy, and a lot of it feels forced, again, just not genuine to who the characters are, and just a lot of it just seems so unnatural. I also want to touch on the Institute. In the books, the Institute is an abandoned church, and you go inside and it's still an abandoned church, and it's the Lightwoods, it's Jace, and it's Hodge, and that is all. And now in the show, for some reason, again, I just don't understand some of the changes. It is nothing like an abandoned church. It's like a full-on laboratory with technological overload. There's so many things, touch screen, swiping this way and that, and there's so many people there. Who are these people? Who are you? What are you doing in my house? And now the plot. I think I've kind of already touched on the plot in and out, but basically I don't understand why the plot is so weirdly different to the books and yet trying to incorporate everything. And I don't understand, like, what was the point of the alternate dimension? I mean, it feels like, you know, when you do like a flashback episode because you don't have anything to do in your plot. It literally felt like it was just to have an episode. Why not? Let's do an alternate reality, which is quite similar to the actual reality from the books. And then also this trial for Isabel, again, just feels so forced, so like, I don't know what to do with this plot, so I'm just gonna put her there. Big bit of excitement. Oh, Alec's gonna have to go and ask Magnus for help because she wants Magnus to do it. Even though, when he goes to ask Magnus for help, he's like, but yeah, you can't do it anyway. So what did you go for? Why did you go if you thought he couldn't do it? And then also this Lydia character, why? Again, it just feels like you just were like, let's do something. Let's put in Lydia and let's have her, like, you know, be engaged to Alec just for a little bit of excitement. The books were already really exciting, and I feel like there's been so many unnecessary changes. I do believe I'm going to finish watching the next 3 episodes I believe I have to watch, but I don't see me continuing with it because it really just gives me great stress. And that is all for today. What did you think of Shadowhunters? Let me know if you love it or if you hate it or if you have no strong opinions towards it at all, or if you have not watched it yet and if you were going to watch it. And yeah, that is all for today. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye!